Hi everyone, this is Chronicles of Sophie. I hope you all are doing great wherever you are. So I just felt, I wanted to share a little bit about myself, so that some of you will get to maybe learn also from me. I've had to listen to so many people's story and I've learned a few things. But I just feel like I wanted to share, take you guys to see what my life looks like. So yes, clocking 35 has been so much of um, gratitude to the Almighty for me. It has been a moment of deep retrospection for myself and how I've come to this very moment. And all I can say is Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I'm so grateful for the gift of life. Like I'm hale and hearty. And God brought me to that point where okay, yeah, um, going down memory when I clocked 30, I had very big plans of clocking the big 30, but then Alhamdulillah, God has a plan for everyone. Man plans, and man proposes and God disposes. He's the best of planners. You can't actually even question his decisions. And I spent my 30th birthday in the hospital battling with my life, between life and death. And I was, oh, Almighty Allah, just heal me. I'm not asking for anything. At least let me even see 35. That was my prayer. Nothing more, just grant me good health. Alhamdulillah. And here I am today. I'm seeing 35 in good health, alhamdulillah. And yes, God brought me to that point where I found that inner peace, contentment, and happiness. Like, if you've lost that inner peace, that happiness, you've been in that dark space before and you're able to come out, you will value your peace of mind. You value that inner happiness. You would find contentment. But if you just have it all and you've never lost it to come back to start all afresh, you would not even know that you are worth it. You won't even know your strength, that you could actually be this resilient, preserving, and be able to strive for that with all tenacity to obscure all the hurdles in life and navigate through and still stand tall. So I think after COVID, I resigned from my paid job. I had started my startup for a while. I said, "No, let me start for me to focus on my startup and build it fully." And then I signed this partnership with IIT. So I have a background in agriculture, though. So I signed this partnership with IIT. It was hybrid multiplication project. So they were supposed to bring me this new variety of cassava TMS to Kogi, and it was looking like a very beautiful deal after doing all the cost analysis, because they were going to even buy the stems from me at 7 months. I would harvest them and I will allow the cassava to grow the stem again for another 7 months. So technically my cassava tubers would have been in the soil for 14 months. So they'd be very, very, very huge. So just from the stem that they were going to buy from me, I would have recovered all the money that I spent and even some little margin of profits. So the tubers were just going to be like a bonus, and they already told me they are buying them from me as well. So I invested everything that I had. I pulled all my resources, my savings out, sold a few valuables, and I invested in 10 hectares. That's what they told me. By the time we said preparing the land, we found out that it was even up to 15 hectares. You know how local people measure land and all that. So I got short of resources. In fact, they brought me the stems from IIT Ibadan, one full trailer. So that's how serious it was. So I was so focused on my farm, so I had to take a loan and I was working on it. But along the line, herdsmen happened to me and everything sank on the ground. In fact, as at that time, insurance doesn't cover for herdsmen. But thanks to Baba Buhari, now there's cover for herdsmen. So that was it. And when I got to the farm, I saw the whole farm was flat. Like initially, it was like half of the farm. When I was now going through the vigilante, the rangers for, is it herdsmen or what do they call them? Before I could say Jack Robinson, I went to the farm and everything was flat completely. I didn't know what to say. Initially, my farm manager sent me a picture. Video. I was like, "Are you sure this is my farm?" So no, let me go. I called my brother. Yeah, let's drive down. And I got there and I was like, "This is it." And from the farm back to the house, I couldn't utter a word. I spent the next 3 to 4 days. I didn't even bathe. The only thing I was doing was I was just taking my coffee non-stop. And I would just do my ablution and say my prayer. And my mom was scared because this is me that on a very good day, I I don't like to absorb pressure. I just rant it out. I like my space. I'm very selfish with my space, my sanity. I like my peace of mind. So I just rant everything out and I feel very relaxed. So I don't have space to absorb all those toxicity. No, 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 no. I just rant it out. So for the very first time, my mom is seeing me so quiet in that kind of situation. And in the night, I'll just wait on my pillow. I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. And I was strategizing. And I think on the fifth day, I now said talk to my mom and I told her I want to cut my hair. So the first thing I did, I knew that I needed to pay that loan. That was the first thing. And yeah, I don't open my hair, but I think that's where most half of my I spend a lot of money on my hair. Unfortunately, I don't open it. I'm a Muslim. So when girls say they do skincare, all these stuff, I don't have face cream. I don't even do it. The worst I do is just my lip gloss, right? I don't even do hand cream, leg cream, all those stuff. No, but I spend heavily on my hair. I use natural treatments, so it can be expensive. So I just cut it off. I went and I deleted my IG, deleted Twitter. Some things I know that will take a lot of that I spent so much money on and all that. And I was just praying every day. I was like, God, it is you that brought this upon me. Just let's see how I'll be able to navigate through. And luckily for me, I just slept one day and I woke up and I just got a call. So if you are come on this project, that project was a highlight of my career. It tested me. Oh, subhanallah. So when they were even telling me about the project, I was supposed to be, I was enrolled as a program manager. It was in a terrain that during the raining season, oh, gracious God, no, you lie. I no during the dry season at the beginning of the period dry season we'll take bike from the local government where it's habitable. We'll take bike like 3.5 hours before we get to the community just to go, and when we are coming back it's the same thing, sometimes 4 hours. Then during the raining season, because it's like more like an island, it's a riverine area, we could spend 6 hours plus on bike before we get to that community. So if you leave like 7 a.m., we'll be getting there at noon before I'll now do what I needed to do and come back. And this is me here that I've had to work on projects. The last job I left, like I've been lucky, alhamdulillah. When I finished, even before I finished, I got a job and I've always worked in a very structured system. Like the last job I did, I had an official vehicle and a colleague on the wheel attached to it, and a per diem of about 55,000. That was a line. I'm talking about around 2018, 2019. And I still had a job where if I'm to go to the field at some point, if it's beyond 5 hours, it's a flight, right? And still I had per diems. And now I'm coming to go to do a job like that looks like when I started my career years back, that I was a field assistant or field supervisor rather. Sorry, I was a field supervisor, and you go to field with bike, maybe how many minutes just to go around. Worst case scenario, 1 hour, and it's not like it's straight. You stop, and I'm coming back to this straight journey of 3.5 to 4 hours. And you stop there, you now take the canoe before you even get some communities to navigate through. But I did. I took it because I just have to be accountable and take responsibility for my decisions. And it was so much for me. It was a lot. In fact, at some point, my mom was like, if I don't you think we can do something else? Why not talk to her? I was like, no, no, I don't talk to my dad. And before then, I had already blocked my dad on my social media because whenever I make a post, he just come and say, my darling daughter. And I will not say engagement on those posts. I have to block him. But sometimes I just come to my DM and like, see that guy, he's not sincere. That thing he's typing. And he just leave me alone. I know I'm a daddy's girl actually, but this man just let me